You in terms of your Genesis and Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. What's the being on set and what's those experiences been like?
Yeah, I mean, I love doing Pride and Prejudice and Zombies because it was, silly zombie movie and, fun cast and I thought I could do something interesting with the part. And that was good fun. And I finished yesterday on the job that I've been doing for 7 months. I finished yesterday night and it's the wrap party tonight and they're all like, at home doing stuff, getting drunk, I guess. And that was, good. I think it might be a cool show.
You seem to be attracted to period, whether it's sci-fi or it's the past.
Yeah.
Or is that something you naturally gravitate towards?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just about finding roles that sort of challenge you in some way, shape, or form. And the current one is Prince Philip, but when he was young, and he's a really interesting guy, And I just try and do things that feel like they're a bit of a risk or a challenge. And I think it's quite like Doctor Who, I have to say. But
absolutely. Yes, over here.
Hi, I'm Zaya, and half the people in here don't still hate me because I can't stop shaking now.
that's all right. No worries.
All right, I can't talk anymore either.
That's okay. It happens. Honestly, I get it all the time.
You can make stuff up on the spot. Most of my family and my friends, they all are so crazy about Doctor Who, and I see them sometimes watching it upstairs. I'm like, oh, they seem like nice people, and I'm so glad you can influence them. I'm sorry, I've never gotten into it myself, but it's on my to-do list, and also
Wrong room, dude. Wrong room.
getting your autograph and everything someday.
Cool. Yeah.
But my question for you, I do have this friend who really loves you. She's kind of going through some rough times. So, do you have any advice I could give to her?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I need to know a bit more about the situation. But I think if anyone's going through a rough time, you just have to be really present and be around and take their mind off things. I think take them to the cinema, show them Doctor Who, maybe. Write her a poem that makes her laugh. Draw a silly picture, cook her a spaghetti bolognese, make her a cake. Do any of those things, and I think she'll be having less of a rough time. I guess. That's what I do. It was me.
You've been, with fandom and with such an iconic role, I think you do get a lot of stories of people who say how much the Doctor has given them hope and how much it's inspired. And have you been surprised by that?
No, I mean, I've met a few people today who've been through really tough things and told me that, whilst they've been going through bad times, that they've watched Doctor Who. But I sort of get that, because when I watch Doctor Who, it does become a bit like a sort of friend, because there's so much of it, you can just keep going. And also it's about, there's a sort of freedom to it, isn't there? That's what's amazing about it. That's the thing that I loved. And that's what me and Karen would always say to each other. We'd look at each other and go, can you imagine if it was true? Like, if we could just go in it, and when you close the doors to the TARDIS, nothing can get in, nothing. And you're safe, and you've got this world in there, and you can fly and go anywhere, and it was such an amazing idea. To go back to your earlier question about why it's endured, what a brilliant idea, what a magical, ethereal idea to sort of, something special about it.
Okay, we only have time for like 1 or 2 more questions, and so yes, over here.
Hi, Matt. Welcome to Portland.
Hey.
Oh my goodness. It's everything I can do to keep from going full fangirl on you right now. So, I've been watching Doctor Who since I was a little girl.
Yeah.
Love every incarnation, something about them. But every time there's a new Doctor, I kind of hate them just a little.
Yeah, of course,
Just
yeah.
to completely erase them would be disloyal.
Yeah, but sorry, go on.
Sorry, oh, I'm sorry.
No, please. Finish your question.
Bursting out, and apples are rubbish, and all that energy, and childlike wonder, and rage, and everything. There was none of that. Like, I just instantly loved you, and forever you will be my favorite Doctor.
Oh,
but
thank you.
how did you decide to play him like that?
Good question. Well, I read a lot about Einstein because I thought, who's the cleverest human being? Because that's, you know, he's got to be really, really clever. And I thought Einstein. So I looked, and you know, if anyone wants a good present for like Christmas, a silly present for someone you love that you can put in your toilet, get Einstein's quotes and read it on the toilet. It's interesting, and you know, this mad mind, and actually it's really funny. And actually, when you're the cleverest person in the room, you realise by default you can be the most ridiculous. It's the A to Z thing, you know, and so you go, well, if he's so, because he's always the cleverest person in the room, always. Unless the master's around, gives him a run for his money, but actually, not really. And so, you know, but then coupled with that, you know, I always thought what was really interesting about him is what he's running away from, and the darkness and the destruction and all the blood that's on his hands. You think all those episodes that you watch where like a cleric gets killed, yeah, another choice by the doctor, sorry mate, you're gone, you know, and there's all that guilt and all that pain. So therefore, he has to be, the only way he can get by is by being silly. Because if he wasn't, sorry, it's a bit brutal, but if he wasn't, he'd hang himself, you know, he'd be really, it's like that scene in the Minotaur, oh damn, what's it called? You know the episode with the Minotaur? The what? The God Complex. Yes, exactly. When he opens the door, you know, like, I had to make a choice about what I thought he saw in his room. And I always thought, and I never told anyone until later, but I always thought he saw all the doctors. Sorry, it's a bit for kids. I don't know if I should go here, really. It's a bit really unsure. I thought he saw all the doctors. I don't want to scare the kids there, but hanging from nooses, and there was one noose. So all of them are just there, and just one noose, and he's like, whoop, close the door. You know, so there's so much of that going around him that he's got to, that's how he survives, you know, because he's alone, and he'd go mad otherwise. Well, he's gone mad. That's what's happened.
For our final 20 seconds, is there something you'd like to say?
Yes. Can I ask a favour of you all? It's really silly and really ridiculous, but it would make a lot of my friends at home really happy, and it would make them laugh. So, you're not going to... Okay, it's a bit weird, but if you humour me, I will love you forever. So, the word Peb Live, P-E-B, live, Peb Live. If I say Peb Live, and we'll say it, and then you say Peb Live, and then I say it, and then you say it, and eventually we get really, really loud. Would you humour me and do... Yeah. Here we go. Reporting live from the field, Peb Live. 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 Peb Live.
Matt Smith, ladies and